Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Michael, and as always, we're going to be getting into some more stories. If you enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and if you're new, I'd appreciate if you subscribed. Without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Not Willing to Share in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I kicked out my mom's boyfriend." When I was 17, my mom came into money. She tried to keep it quiet, but she paid off my dad's debts, bought him a small house, paid off her own debts, paid for my sister's college, and set up funds for mine. She had a boyfriend at the time, and shortly after, he and his 7-year-old son moved into our new house. Over the next few years, my mom bought my sister a house after she graduated from college. Her boyfriend lived with us and didn't pay anything, but he did work. When I was 21, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. It wasn't good. She sat my sister and me down and went over exactly how much money there was. She intended to give her current house to me, and both my sister and I were left with a large sum at the end of it. She asked if I would allow her boyfriend to stay in the house with his son until he got his own place, and I agreed. Before she died, she told her boyfriend he would need to look for his own place but had time to save for that transition. For the last 4 years, he has continued to reside in the house with his son. I haven't minded because we get along okay. I pay all the bills, but he does buy food for himself and his son. He has dated off and on and has mostly kept the women out of this house, which I respected him for until his current partner. She's been in my house 3 times, and at first, aside from feeling a little uncomfortable, I was okay with her. The last time, this past weekend, was the point where I lost it. I was making myself some lunch when she came walking downstairs. She grabbed a plate and went to take food out of my pan. I asked her what she thought she was doing. She started telling me how I should look for somewhere else to live and that leeching off my dead mom's past relationship as an adult was pathetic. I hollered for my mom's old boyfriend. He came down and I told him I didn't know what his current partner thought, but I wasn't going to be disrespected in my house. He wouldn't even look me in the eyes as he mumbled something about my mom promising him the house and that he was just being kind by letting me stay. First, that isn't remotely true. Mom pulled him and me together after she asked if he could stay to set expectations. My mom met him shortly before she came into the money and told him and us girls that she had no intention of leaving him any money. She did set aside a fund for his son for college when he gets there, but he cannot touch it. Only his son can. He has lived in this house for almost 8 years without paying a dime. He should have plenty of money, and if he doesn't, that's on him. I told him he had 30 days to leave. I wasn't going to house someone who would lie and disrespect me in my house. He left that night with his son, but his ex-wife called to tell me I am cruel and a jerk for her son losing his house. He is here every other week. I really feel like my mom didn't expect him to still be here, but my sister said she feels like I am breaking my promise to my mom, and that made me feel like maybe I am the jerk. Update. I know the other sub is very subjective about updates, so I figured I would post it here. I do want to take a moment to address some things I saw in the comments. There are trusts set up, and neither my sister nor I has full access to the money left to us. This was done both because my sister and I were in our early 20s when my mom died, and because she wanted to make sure we had some stability before we had access, as well as to protect us from people who might try to take advantage of us, especially while we were grieving. I have a lawyer. He has already informed me, according to the laws in my area, what the eviction process is, and my mom's former boyfriend will be served with formal eviction papers just to cover myself, even after today. So, to the update, my dad came over this morning and brought along my cousin. I decided not to have my boyfriend over since he doesn't know about the money situation, and I wasn't trying to bring him into it. For easier telling, I'm going to call my mom's former boyfriend. CC showed up at about 10 a.m. my time and talked to my dad, then asked if he could have a couple of minutes alone with me. My dad nodded, so he and my cousin went into the kitchen and C and I sat in the living room. I'll be honest, I didn't expect it to go as it did, but I am glad it did. C started with an apology. I don't remember all of the words he said, but the basics were that he missed my mom. He has been lonely, but not alone thanks to me and his son. He said he was sorry for what had happened, that he got caught up in lust and let someone else fill his head with ideas, and that he owned up to his mistakes. He said he should have never put up with someone who would disrespect me or my mom's memory. He tried to hand me a cashier's check for $15,000. He said it wasn't much, but he wanted me to know he appreciated me and living with me, and that he wanted to pay back some of what he owed. I refused the check, both in part because I never wanted his money and because I don't want to give him any possible legal standing if this is somehow him trying to stay. I told him the first part and told him to put it toward a house. He told me he is living with his sister but is going to look at houses with a realtor next week. He did say his son is asking about our next hangout date and said both my sister and I are welcome to arrange time with him. After all of that, my dad and cousin helped him get all the stuff he owned out of the house. He had brought a U-Haul and he gave me back my house keys. He apologized again and left. Not what I expected, but it went really well and I feel a lot less like I let my mom down. Update 2. This is probably going to be my last update unless something unexpected happens, but I thought I would give a quick update on C. So C called me last week and again yesterday. He put an offer on a house and yesterday it got accepted. The expected closing date is early next month and I am very proud of him. I know everyone expected more drama and honestly, some of the comments had me worried, but it's been really good. He thanked me a lot for letting him have so much time here and offered me some money one more time for his time here, which I again declined, but I did offer to help him move in when the time comes. Moving sucks. He put down almost half as a down payment, so he definitely was saving money during his time here, and I'm glad everything that happened encouraged him to get into a home of his own. I talked to his son yesterday after he got out of school, and we are going to play laser tag this weekend with my sister, and he is excited for the new house too. Final update. I didn't expect to come back, but I had a surprise this past weekend and I thought I would share some positives. So first off, C got his house. He closed and moved in this past week. He invited me over on Saturday to see the house and told me he had something for me. So, some background on my mom. Mom was an amazingly kind woman. She was also heavy-set and very self-conscious. Most of the photos I have of her are Snapchat pictures she would send. She hated pictures of herself and she absolutely refused to pose for a camera. I have made many comments since she passed that I worry I won't remember what she looked like, since so many of the photos I have are either old or filtered. So, back to the present day. C invited my sister and me over and showed us his new place. He thanked us for being amazing people and then he handed us each a photo album. Guys, he had hundreds of photos of my mom printed for each of us. He told us he hated that she filtered her photos and he had secretly been taking photos of her throughout their whole relationship. Because he loved the real her. He had taken photos of us with her at the zoo, photos of her on vacations, photos of her napping, and photos of her during hikes. Both my sister and I were bawling as we looked through these pictures of our mom that we never knew we needed. He had included little note cards with dates for each photo and descriptions on some. He managed to capture her smiling and laughing, things she would never take pictures of because she didn't like her smile. To me, this book is priceless. So that's it. C is amazing and maybe we had one bad moment, but it doesn't define him or me. He loved my mom and that matters. We are all going to get together for my mom's birthday in a few months and just celebrate the woman she was. This story is a perfect reminder that you need to be careful about who you let into your circle. First off, if I were OP, I definitely would have been feeling some type of way if my deceased mother's boyfriend started bringing over his new girlfriend. That aside, I still would have tried to honor her final wish of allowing him to remain in the home, but just like OP, I'd want to cut him off after his girlfriend's comments. Luckily, the boyfriend seems like a half-decent man and realized his girlfriend was out of line and apologized. I felt that the money was definitely unnecessary and I'm glad that OP turned it down. The ending though, with the gift of the photos, was definitely a tough but wholesome moment.